blood and bullets mean absolutely nothing when the statues start moving in the dark. This upcoming PS5 nightmare drops you into a twisted world where every shadow hides a new way to die. Crystal Theater of Idols is purely about surviving when the odds are entirely against you. You get almost no resources. You are constantly hunted by horrific mannequins that freeze when you look at them and charge when you blink. The PS5 controller literally pulses with your character's terrified heartbeat, letting you feel the panic before you even see the monster. You have to scrape together scraps just to craft one single bullet. Even then, shooting might just make things worse by making loud noise. But the real question is, what happens when your flashlight battery finally hits zero? Imagine trying to survive a cursed island when your only weapon is a pendulum that talks to ghosts. You are completely defenseless, and the spirits here do not want to negotiate. The occultist completely strips away your ability to fight back in true next-gen fashion. You cannot shoot, you cannot punch, you can only run, hide, and pray your ritual works. You have to explore a massive, rotting mansion while managing your sanity meter, which drops every time you witness something supernatural. The tension is brutal because you have to actually use the DualSense mic to hold your breath when a monster walks past the closet you are hiding in. One loud exhale and it is over. So, do you risk exploring the basement for a health kit, or just bleed out in the dark? A demonic outbreak is tearing through a modern city, and you are trapped right in the middle with a broken pipe and zero backup. This is pure, unfiltered survival panic. Dark Mass throws you into a massive quarantine zone on PS5, where the infected are smart, fast, and constantly hunting. The resource scarcity here is insane. You will be checking empty cars for a single bandage or half a bottle of water while listening to the screams echo down the street. The developers built an AI director that learns your hiding spots. If you hide under beds too often, the demons start checking there first. You are always bleeding, always tired, and always vulnerable. Will you survive long enough to find the safe house, or just become another body in the streets? Childhood fears just got a terrifying PS5 upgrade, and this time, the monsters are faster than you. You are small, weak, and everything in this twisted world wants to eat you. Reanimal comes from the twisted minds behind Little Nightmares, perfecting the feeling of total vulnerability. You have zero combat skills. Survival is entirely about sneaking through a rotting, isolated island while massive mutated animals hunt you down by scent. You have to perfectly time your movements to avoid making the floorboards creak. The haptic feedback makes you feel every heavy footstep of the giant creatures stalking you from the room next door. It is a constant, suffocating game of cat and mouse. How long can you stay hidden before a single cough gives away your position? Madness is far more dangerous than any monster, and this game is designed to break your mind. The deep ocean hides ancient horrors, and your oxygen tank is already leaking. Cthulhu, the Cosmic Abyss, traps you in a submerged research facility where the laws of physics are falling apart. You have to constantly manage your oxygen levels, your suit's battery, and your own sanity. As you lose your mind, the game tricks you on your PS5 screen. You will hear footsteps that are not there, or see doors that do not actually exist. Healing items are incredibly rare, and the cosmic entities stalking the flooded hallways cannot be killed. You just have to seal the bulkheads and hope. What do you do when the voice in your radio starts telling you to open the airlock? The floodwaters are rising, the ammunition is soaking wet, and the things swimming in the streets are getting hungry. Welcome to the ultimate Lovecraftian survival test. The Sinking City 2 ditches the heavy detective work to go full hardcore survival horror. You were dropped into a sinking 1920 city with a rusted revolver and maybe 3 bullets if you were lucky. The monsters here react dynamically to blood. If you take a hit, the scent will actually draw more horrors out of the muddy water.
You have to manage your physical wounds and your sanity simultaneously while navigating rotting buildings that could collapse at any second. Every encounter forces a heavy choice. Can you patch your wounds fast enough, or will the scent of blood summon the Leviathan?
Waking up in a metallic labyrinth with no memories and a biomechanical horror stalking your every move is a bad day. Realizing your only light source attracts it makes it a nightmare. Ontos is pushing PS5 survival to the absolute limit. You are completely alone in a decaying facility. Your survival mechanics are tied directly to your body temperature and heart rate. You have to physically craft makeshift tools out of scrap metal just to pry open doors. The monster AI is terrifying because it does not have a set path. It actively hunts you based on the noise you make while scavenging. You will spend half the time holding your breath in ventilation shafts, praying the metal does not groan. Are you brave enough to turn on the generator knowing exactly what the noise will wake up? Deep space isolation is terrifying, but realizing something else is on the ship with you is paralyzing. You are hundreds of light years from help, and the power just went out. Retrieval makes you feel completely helpless in the cold vacuum of space. You are trapped on a derelict research vessel where every single resource matters. You have to manually repair your spacesuit with duct tape to stop oxygen leaks while hiding from mutated crew members. Combat is clunky, heavy, and desperate. Swinging a heavy wrench drains your stamina instantly, leaving you completely exposed. The 3D audio on the PS5 is so precise, you can hear the creatures crawling through the walls right above your head. Do you risk turning on your flashlight to see the map, or stumble blindly through the dark? True sci-fi survival horror is back, and every single choice could mean a horrific death. A parasitic alien is hunting the crew, and absolutely nobody is safe. Directive 8020 forces you to make split-second survival decisions while managing limited resources on a dying colony ship. The tension is cranked to the maximum because the alien threat can mimic the voices of your crewmates. You never know if you are opening the door for a friend or a monster. The survival elements are strict, forcing you to repair oxygen scrubbers and conserve flares just to see down the dark corridors. If you mess up a stealth section, that character is gone forever. Will you trust the voice calling for help on the radio, or lock the blast doors and leave them to die? Being stranded on Isla Nublar right after the movie event sounds like a dream until a velociraptor starts testing the handle on your door. You are definitely not the apex predator here. Jurassic Park Survival is the hardcore dinosaur nightmare fans have been begging for on PS5. You play as a trapped scientist with no military training and zero heavy weapons. Your only goal is to stay off the food chain. You have to scavenge abandoned visitor centers for medical supplies and flares while dodging a massive roaming T-Rex. The stealth mechanics are intense because dinosaurs have incredible senses of smell and hearing. If you step on a broken branch or bleed from a scratch, they will find you. Can you stay completely silent inside the kitchen cabinet while the raptor sniffs the air right outside? Walking through an abandoned Japanese village filled with tortured spirits is bad enough. Realizing your only weapon is a vintage camera makes it absolutely terrifying. Fatal Frame 2 Crimson Butterfly Remake brings an entirely new level of visual dread to the PS5. The tension in this game is masterfully crafted. To deal damage, you have to let the ghost get dangerously close to your face before snapping a picture. You are constantly managing your film stock, which is incredibly scarce. Using the DualSense, you can actually feel the supernatural chill creeping up your arms as spirits approach from behind. You are always vulnerable, always outnumbered, and always one step away from joining the dead. Are you willing to wait until the ghost is inches from your eyes just to get the perfect fatal shot? Body horror reaches a disgusting new peak when the walls themselves start growing teeth. You have a shotgun, but the mutated freaks you are fighting refuse to stay dead. Ill is a gritty, hyper-realistic survival horror that makes every single bullet feel like solid gold. You are trapped in a rotting town where the enemies dynamically dismember based on where you shoot them. Ammo is so rare that you will often have to resort to brutal, desperate melee combat that quickly drains your health and stamina. The inventory system is strictly limited. You must choose between carrying extra painkillers or spare shotgun shells. Every encounter is a messy, panicked fight for your life in claustrophobic hallways. What is your backup plan when the monster you just cut in half starts dragging itself toward you? The fog is rolling in again, but this time the psychological torment is wrapped in next-generation survival dread. The radio static is back and it is louder than ever. Silent Hill Townfall returns to the roots of true survival horror on the PS5. You are completely isolated in a twisted town that actively preys on your deepest fears. Combat is deliberately difficult. You will feel weak and clumsy against the nightmarish horrors roaming the dark streets. You will be hoarding rusty pipes and single health drinks just to survive the next street corner. The psychological elements are tied directly to your survival mechanics. The more panicked your character gets, the harder it is to aim your weapon. Will you step into the heavy fog to search for supplies, or hide inside and pray the sirens stop? The kings of survival horror are about to drop their most ambitious nightmare yet, pushing the console to its absolute limits. The undead have evolved, and your safe room is no longer safe. Resident Evil Requiem completely reinvents hardcore resource management and tension. You are thrown into a sprawling, interconnected horror zone where every bullet must be counted and every herb must be saved. The enemies are incredibly resilient, forcing you to decide between fighting and wasting precious ammo, or running and risking a bite. The dynamic injury system means if you take a hit to the leg, you will limp, making it even harder to escape the relentless stalker enemy hunting you across the map. The atmosphere is thick, suffocating, and designed to keep your adrenaline spiking for hours. When your gun goes click in the dark and the stalker breaks down the door, how exactly do you plan to survive?